really get a lot of pace in the game early. Where you should get it going, you were kind of speed with it.
Well, yeah, we didn't we weren't really executing much of anything at either end, Doug. I think, and then again, we were, when there was plays to be made, we weren't quite finishing them off. I thought there wasn't much pace. We seemed to be in thinking mode a lot instead of just until you saw us. That's kind of what you see, that one little stretch there, what we saw the way we played in the preseason. It's up the floor and guys are moving, it's cutting, it's, flying, and we're getting back cuts and we're getting better shots and all that kind of stuff. But just a little bit didn't handle the moment very well, I don't think. I mean, in like lots of areas, blew some easy layups, blew some shot, turned it over on some easy plays. Defensive coverages were breaking down pretty bad, for like wide open dunks or whatever. So there's some a lot of learning will be going on tomorrow. That's for sure.
It looked like Scottie was thinking a little bit too much as well. You didn't see him play with that freedom, I guess. That's free.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, he's wasn't alone there. I think it's kind of going on everything, and I think he he'll figure out where some of those plays are. He made some really good passes. He made a couple that weren't so good as well, but they were there maybe a count earlier or whatever and things like that. Just keep the ball in his hands. I think he's a playmaker. Got to get him a little more aggressive to just go in there and use his size at the rim and finish those. He's got to finish over some of those that he thought he was getting hit on, that he's got to score them.
They seem determined to make sure they were back on defense and make you play a little more half court. Where were you struggling in the half court?
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you, but we didn't put any pressure on them to get back either. Like it was just like, we were just moving like with really heavy legged, I thought, just really slow up the floor until we hit a stretch with a group of guys we could find. And I think it's probably my biggest concern. We talked about it. There were some groups that just didn't look like they fit very good. Right. And there was, and I'm going to have to, tinker around with that and keep trying to figure out who does fit together and things like that. But again, I don't think we put enough pressure on them. And even like when we got steals and we were out, we didn't seem to be able to get the ball moved forward safely enough where there was advantage if we would have, or if we just would have hung on to it and pushed, the guy would have pushed it himself, there was probably going to develop into a numbers advantage. You give them credit. They played really well and they did get back, but I don't think we put enough pressure on them.
You mentioned finishing, and some of that was in transition. I'm sure you would like to get out, as you mentioned. Yep. In transition, how important is it for you guys to take advantage of those opportunities when you are on the break? And how much of that is just like connectivity with such a new group?
Yeah, I mean, I almost throw it down to as one of those nights tonight, because I mean, we did get there was a whole bunch of point blank layups that just kept finding a way to roll off, and they were kind of spirit takers a little bit, right? We were struggling to score, and we finally make a good read and a good play, and we got one there, and it comes off, and they'd be probably landing it at the other end because we're taking a stride or two because we're dejected because we thought we had one, and you know what I mean. Those are I thought we had a few too much of that too, where we thought we had a play there and it didn't go our way, and we were giving up an easy transition basket at the other end. I mean, we can't do that, compound our mistakes like that.
Did you think the emotions of the day had anything to do with the game? I mean, you mentioned the other day that guys would use it rather than, be overcome by it. Do you think that had anything to do with things early?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I think again, I don't. It seemed to me we weren't, fully engaged, and something was there, and it probably was just a pretty big moment. And like you said, it's not like you're playing against some experienced guys out there that know how to play and are playing very well, on top of it, and bunch of new guys wondering where the heck they are out there, right, and running around and stuff. But we'll make some strides forward and play better, I'm sure.
Because they're so young and because you got so many new guys, how careful does your message have to be immediately after the game with these guys?
Well, I mean, I think, I tell them that there was some stretches of us playing the way we've been playing and the way we want to play, but not enough. I just thought, and I said, listen, this not a whole lot of time to do anything in this league except for get yourself rested and ready to come to practice tomorrow to really learn. And we're going to play better, the next one out.
I think Scottie played around 31, 32 minutes, including the entire fourth quarter. But you mentioned before, you can judge based off of his playing time. So it's an indication that he had a good night for you guys.
I mean, he was okay, right? I think he was okay. He was I think got his feet wet, and I think we see a really good player there, right? He did make some good plays. He rebounded the ball. I thought he pushed the ball pretty good and things like that. I see he only had 1 assist, which is kind of low for him. I thought he had a few more passes than that led to buckets, but maybe we didn't make them. And I think one there was somebody wide open and waited to count late, and the guy was by it and out of bounds. Yeah, so it was a good. I was pretty happy with Scottie for a first appearance.
The next moment for Delano to get in. We cheered, the bucket made a shot. So you played it, I would say.
Yeah.
You like what you're getting in the growth of him, his maturation in the game, or?
Yeah. I mean, that was again, it was a little bit of it was a defensive substitution actually, because Fee had 4 fouls and just wanted to give Delano a shot to finish out the quarter there. And then obviously, I thought he was a big factor for the improved pace and the improved offense. He was really getting guys to run and cut and move and making plays early in transition. So it was a good night for him.
In the fourth quarter, when you guys are getting to come back, how important or how valuable was that experience for a young player like Nolan and Scottie to be kind of a part of that?
Well, I think that, the one thing you first have to instill is that you got to play the full 48 regardless of the situation, right? I mean, that thing wasn't much fun for a long time, right? And it wasn't easy. Nothing, like I said, the ball was bouncing. We were shooting bad. We were missing layups. The ball, like there was, I always say you can sum up the game in some of these, they're dribbling down and dribbling it off the back of their foot right to one of their other guys, things like that are happening kind of for the whole night. And they found a way to generate some juice and keep playing through that. And that's key. Like, again, one of the first things you have to instill is you got to play the full 48. So that was, I think, guys, see that a little bit.
There was a lot of press and Spurs there. Usually that's reserved for desperation time. It's sort of let's say that tonight. Is there ever?
Probably should have went to it earlier, huh, Eric?
Actually more regularly through it again?
It's pretty hard too, I think. I think you could do it a little bit maybe after free throws and things like that if you wanted to. Yeah, but I think it felt like a desperation thing for us. Well, but you guys have seen us do that before many a time. You guys are probably saying the press. Why aren't they pressing yet? Oh, here they are. Now they're pressing.
But I assume you like the execution of it when it was out there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought again, it's again that what you're doing a lot of times there is you're trying to ignite some energy and some speed and some hard play. And that's, I think we got it for pretty much the most part. Right. I mean, again, we have a chance. I think it got down to 10 and I think we had a wide open 3 to cut it to 7 and we don't hit it and they come down and bang one and it's 13. And that was pretty much all she wrote. But the press and the energy, I think was helping us both ends and all that stuff. I thought the guys tried hard in it.
Okay, we'll go to Josh. Online. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Nick. Josh Kerr with Raptors HQ. Just wondering if you can give us your impressions of Scottie on the defensive end tonight.
On the defensive end?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The defensive end.
Yeah.
He was it was okay, right? I think we know he can kind of guard individually and he can get his hands on some balls. I'm going to have to watch the tape to see how he did schematically a little bit more. I would imagine he was in some schematic errors because there was a lot of breakdowns, but that's kind of natural and a progression that he's going to have to make. But I think for the most part, he did okay. I liked it when he was up the floor on the ball some. He always seems to get down and guard that thing and kind of ignites the guys behind him.